Hello, friends. It's Wednesday, the 13th of March. It's about 3:30 on the West Coast of the United States. I was going to play golf this afternoon. Actually, I was going to knock some balls down on the golf range, and turns out they close on Wednesday every week for maintenance. And so I can't play golf. I think I'll talk about silver. Um, and that made me think of, here, let me share my screen, and I'm in a playful mood today. So it made me think of my favorite things. This is one of the songs from Sound of Music. You know, it's raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. Only, my favorite things are golf, the precious metals. And so anyway, enough of me babbling. Let's look at the charts. We'll start with gold. I'm going to focus on silver in this video, but we'll just take a quick look on gold while we're looking at the charts. What we can see is that gold, clearly pushed up to a new all-time high, and then we got a pullback, which, pullbacks never feel good, but notice what the pullback did. Basically, it pulled back and it tested the breakout. And I make this point fairly frequently when I talk about breakouts. There's two ways to trade a breakout trade. You go long when the vehicle, whatever it is, you go long when the vehicle breaks out of its the breakout level, whatever it is. In this case, it was the previous all-time high. Or you wait for the pullback, because statistically, you're likely to get an entry point at the breakout level. The breakout occurs, then we get a pullback to the breakout level, and then price goes off and continues to the upside. It continues its uptrend. And so far, that's what we're seeing here. Pull back to the breakout level, and assumptive gold will continue higher from this point. Now, I have to caveat that with gold is very overbought, certainly in the daily time frame, actually in all of the time frames. Gold is overbought, and so maybe we need some sideways consolidation before price actually heads higher. On the bullish side, I would point at this volume. I mean, look at that. That is a bunch of volume buying gold. And what we're seeing here, this is the COMEX chart. So these are gold futures contracts. And what I saw yesterday is that people are standing for delivery, which means they're not just buying gold and silver contracts. It was silver in particular that they were standing for delivery on. They're not just buying COMEX contracts as a speculative venture. They're buying those future contracts to take delivery of physical. They want the shiny stuff and they want it in their hands. And so anyway, interesting shift in the precious metals markets. Notice again on the idea that gold is very overbought, certainly in the daily time frame. Look at MACD. We're up here at this level with the dashed bars, the higher of these two lines. Gold is up at the MACD level, which clearly stopped and reversed price in two, both of these cases. MACD reached this level and then reversed. And so we're at that level again. We've already surpassed the MACD level. If we look at this dotted line, we're past the level where these previous price peaks reached a high and then corrected. So anyway, point is that gold is very overbought, certainly in the daily time frame. This is gold, spot gold, if you will. same thing, breakout through the previous all-time high. Now we've got a pullback to the breakout level, and it appears, based on today's action, that price is heading higher or would like to head higher. We got lots of energy based on stochastics. So, if gold wants to head higher from here, it certainly has the energy to do so, albeit it is very overbought. Now, being overbought doesn't mean that price has to correct or reverse. Price can certainly head higher from here if buyers continue to buy. So anyway, let's focus on silver now. So I was listening to a podcast just today from John Rubino, I believe, was being interviewed by David Dubine. I think David Dubine interviewing Mike Rubino, and Mike was making, 2 points. The first point that I found interesting, very interesting, is that when we look at the reported demand for silver, we see categories like smartphones, solar panels, electric vehicles, etc. What we don't see reported in those metrics is military usage of silver. And so he specifically talked about the Tomahawk missile and the fact that there are 500 ounces of silver in the nose of every Tomahawk missile. And he was also suggesting that all of the military hardware missiles has this amount of silver in its makeup. And so anyway, significant demand for silver from the military, and yet when we look at reported usages of silver, military demand is not included in there. And he even went so far as to suggest that the U.S. military is participating in the, call it suppression. Well, let's just call it suppression. I can't think of a better word for it. But anyway, Mike was suggesting, or John Rubino, was suggesting that the U.S. military might be participating in the suppression of silver prices, because so much of their military hardware depends on silver, and as do all electronics. And if we're talking specifically about military hardware, just about anything you want to talk about involves electronics, which of course, all electronics have at least a little bit of silver. If nothing else, there's a couple of drops of silver solder, in any electronic device that you want to talk about, much less 500 ounces of silver in the nose cone of a Tomahawk missile. So anyway, I found that interesting. What was the second point? I forget the second point he was making. It'll probably come to me as we continue. So this is silver COMEX in the daily time frame. As we can see, big bar today. That's a big price bar. What we gained? We gained 3%, 3.12%, or what is that? 76 cents. So 76 cents gain in silver today. That's a big move. If we focus on this, this little currently it's just a doji candlestick. That's the overnight session that started a couple hour or so ago, 2 hours ago. And it would appear that price is continuing higher. Even after today's big move, price is continuing higher. Silver at this point appears to be playing catch up with the big move that gold has made. Gold gained $150 an ounce in about 2 weeks' time. And so we can't fault gold for becoming overbought and needing to take a rest. $150 in 2 weeks, that's a big move. And so anyway, looks to me as if silver is playing catch up with gold. MACD in bull mode on buy signal, not quite at the level of being overbought as we saw in gold. We can see there's the prior MACD high, and silver is pushing up towards that level, but still has a little ways to run before it reaches that level. Lots of energy based on stochastics. And of course, if you haven't been listening to me babble in the past, I use slow stochastics as my indicator for energy level. And so lots of energy based on stochastics. Current target in this time frame is the previous high at what is that, 2650, 2635. And so current target, in my opinion, would be 2650 or so. Let's keep rolling. This is silver spot. Same story, big move today, 3.65%, 88-cent gain. Price in the overnight session is continuing the move upwards. MACD reaching up towards the overbought level, but not quite there yet. Energy very elevated. Notice the 20-day moving average poking up above the 200-day moving average. We're not in bullish alignment yet. And actually we've got a little ways to go before the 50 rises above the 200-day. So not there yet. So this is silver in the weekly time frame. We can see that so far this week we've got roughly a 3% gain, 72 cents. Again, a nice move, big move in silver, pushing up towards that $25 round number, and the median line of this shift pitchfork, where we reasonably can expect some resistance. Maybe we get a little pause there, a little bit of a sideways consolidation. Maybe price pushes on up to the $26 level, which would be the next obvious target in this time frame. MACD has risen up into bull mode. And so if you're looking for an entry point into silver and choose to use MACD buy and sell as a signal, well, we just recently got a new buy signal based on MACD and a recent rise up into bull mode, which, bull mode in MACD suggests that the primary trend is to the upside. So energy obviously rising sharply and up in the very elevated level at this point. So very nice chart here in the weekly time frame. Notice as well in MACD, nowhere close to being overbought. And so in this weekly time frame, silver has a long way to run to the upside before it becomes overbought. So that's an encouraging sign. Silver in the monthly time frame, as I pointed out before, this is just not an exciting chart to look at. I mean, that's a pretty nice looking bar. We're about not quite halfway through this month. And so, this price bar will continue for another 2 weeks. Currently, well, when I'm saying not very exciting, look at the monthly gain so far. We're up 10.4%. So 10% gain in a single month, that's, you can't complain about that. Or if you are complaining about that, well, I don't know what to tell you. I would also point out, let me expand this chart. So far, this is an impulsive price bar, which of course, is an indication of elevated energy and bullish price action, where the current price is nearly at the high of the bar. We don't have a pullback. You know, if we look at these, like if we look at this price bar for an example, we can see that it pushed up to a high level, but then it pulled back and it left that upper wick. In contrast, if we look at the current month's price bar or candle, price currently is nearly at the high of the bar. And so that's again, an indication of impulsive price action, bullish price action. Notice as well, MACD is in bull mode, where, you know, both indicator lines are above the zero level of the indicator. Again, that suggests that the primary trend in silver in the monthly time frame is to the upside. Notice as well that we have a new, fairly new buy signal from MACD, and I would just suggest that MACD buy and sell signals in the monthly time frame, well, they last for months. And so based on that buy signal from MACD, we might expect, or it is reasonable to expect a continuation of the upward movement in silver. So just saying, silver in the quarterly time frame, we looked at this chart last time I talked about silver. And again, to my eye, what I see is a downward sloping pendant. And now in the current quarter, three-month time period, a breakout to the upside. You know, that's this current candle or price bar. I see that as a breakout above this downward sloping pendant, and price is moving to the upside. Let me expand on MACD here. And again, so we can see that MACD clearly in bull mode and on a buy signal. So, and energy above the halfway range. So in the elevated side of MACD. So just some real nice action in silver. I'm forgetting the second point that John Rubino made, but I'll tell you, it was a good one. And so anyway, since I couldn't knock some golf balls down range, I wanted to look at the silver charts for myself and share them with you while I was looking. That's all I've got in this video, and I will talk to you soon, folks. Stop sharing here. Let me end this video. There it goes.